Okay. So sorry. Okay, good evening, everybody. And sabse pehle, I would like to, say that how honored I am to be here because some of my fellow speakers, they are the ones I look up to, and they are the ones because of whom I am what I am. Dr. Amika Patel was here on the same stage, and it makes me feel very happy to be addressing all of you here because at one point in time in life, I was where you are, and that was not too long ago. So I do know what it's like to be there and experiment, to be there and not know where you're going next, to have dreams, but you never know whether you're going to be able to fulfill them. The current situation is such where one always wonders what next, and one never has an answer to it till the next is there right in front of us. So I'm going to try today by talking to you, maybe talk about the experiments that all of us at this age and this stage we can do. Okay, are you all comfortable with English? Everything English is fine, right? Okay, so I'm somebody who likes to talk to my audiences, so I'd be very happy if you can raise your hands and tell me that you're with me right now. Okay, fantastic. And can I have some little energy, so it'll also motivate me and make me less nervous while I'm on stage, yeah? Okay, this is the kind of energy I'm used to, and this is the kind of energy that makes me feel great. So fabulous. I was just telling your team, I have to say that your organizing committee is great. When they came to me, I was like, TEDx nahi karna hai mujhe. I can do an Amitabh Bachchan, I can host Amitabh Bachchan, I can host Yani, I can host A.R. Rahman, but I don't want to do a TEDx because there's just so much expectation which is there, So I'm going to try through my topic to reach out to all you guys on the topic of experimenting while you are in your 20s. So while you are in your 20s, वो मैं थोड़ा delete कर दूँगी. Experimenting पे हम रहेंगे आज. Experimenting, if you go to see dictionary meaning, उसका होता है testing a hypothesis or proving a fact, demonstrating a fact. Life में hypothesis भी होते हैं, facts भी होते हैं, और हर चीज़ को in this age and time, we need to showcase it. We need to prove ourselves again and again. So in a way, every phase of life is an experiment, believe it or not. Especially in your 20s, you can go and test your hypothesis and not just be behind your facts. So this is the best time to go and check whether you are right in what you're thinking or not, whether you can take a path and take a U-turn and come back or not. That is all possible when you're in your 20s. When you are in your 30s, U-turn is not so much on your mind because there are so many turns coming as it is, So I am a storyteller at the end of the day, and I'm going to hope that experimenting in life in your 20s, that topic I can convey to you through my story. I am a study in experiments of sorts. So I belong to Bhavnagar. It's a small city in Saurashtra. I'm born and brought up there. I've traveled pretty much, so you won't hear the Kathiawadi accent in my voice. However, I'm somebody who wanted to do winemaking. How many of you are familiar with winemaking? Oenology? Yeah. So, initially in life, when I was in 10th standard, in 9th standard, I was in Paris for a year, which motivated me at that time. Life mein, if I want to do something, it is winemaking. There is nothing else in life. So I was studying. In my 10th standard, I wanted to clear my board so that I'll get into 12th science because I have to do biology to get a scholarship into winemaking. So very clear in life, very clear goals. My mother was very strongly against me getting into 12th science because I always had an aptitude for commerce or arts. But then you have to experiment in life. Even a big one, you have to take the jump somewhere or the other. So I said, no, Mom, I can do this. Let me try. I tried. In my prelims, I had 4 red lines. I flunked Maths 1, Maths 2, Chemistry and Physics. All the main subjects. The only subjects that I passed in was Biology, Sanskrit, English and Hindi, these languages, which apparently did not matter according to my teachers. They were all having a BP of 200, a blood pressure of 200 because of me, because I was the only student in class with 4 red lines and nowhere to go. So 12th standard was very difficult for me. Finally, in the board exams, I got somewhere around 60%, which was not enough to get into anything else. And the other thing that happened, biology mein, fantastic. The rest of the subjects a little down. Biology, because of biology, I got a scholarship in winemaking in France, in the heart of the center of Champagne. That's the area where you have winemaking happening. And then my mom spoke to me. She said, okay, now that you have fulfilled your wish of doing science, getting winemaking there, what do you want to do next in life? So I said, I want to study winemaking. Then I'll see. I don't want to stay in France for sure, because I don't think I can stay away from India that much. So she said, okay, you don't want to stay in France, then where will you come back to in India? I said, Gujarat. And she's like, wait, come again? You want to do winemaking and you want to come back to a dry state? I am not putting a single penny in your education. I'm not even sponsoring the bus ticket from here to an international airport, you know. That isn't happening as well. So please get your, things together, get your act together. If you want to stay in France, if you want to go to Pune, if you want to go to Mumbai, then let's do something. Then let's talk about it. But otherwise, you're not going anywhere. Choose something else. And that's the time I realized that, okay, either I stay in my own country, that's what I want, or I decide to give fate a chance and see where I go. Then I decided that it was not the time to move out. It was the time to stay in. And that's how I selected, or maybe archaeology and ancient history selected me. The first person I met when I came to Baroda was new for me. Bhavnagar is the place I had been to, Pune, maximum Paris. These are the only 3 cities that I knew in life. So when I came to Baroda, I did not know anybody. I was looking for the archaeology department. I came to the department, and the first person I met was Dr. Ambika Patel there. And I did not know her. She seemed very serious. So when she explained to me what it takes to be an archaeologist, or maybe just get a degree into archaeology. I will never say I'm an archaeologist, because I just have a degree in archaeology and ancient history. So that's what she told me. She explained the entire process to me, and I had an option of art history and archaeology. I thought, okay, let me try with archaeology. So I went ahead. It was a subject that went straight into my heart. I enjoyed every moment of learning, and no learning was enough. I wanted to go to the field. I wanted to be a part of excavations. Students get 1 month on the field when they are in their 3rd year, or when they're in their masters. So I used to look forward to my 3rd year because I'd get 1 month on the field. But that was the time when I also got a job with Radio Mirchi. So Radio Mirchi was an experiment of sorts, to be very honest. What happened was, when I was in Paris, I wanted to study at École du Louvre. Because I was doing my archaeology and ancient history, the next step, which would be obvious for me, would be going to the Louvre Museum, studying at the Louvre Museum. What better option for anybody who loves archaeology and ancient history? So I filled up all the forms. My faculty here helped me. They sent me certificates. They were very happy that, okay, somebody's filling up a form from the department to go to École du Louvre. And I'm a francophone, so I speak French. So that gave me an edge for admissions and everything. I filled up all the forms, almost all the formalities were done, and I got a call from another radio channel saying that we're offering you a job right here, right now. And I'm like, ooh, a job. And studying further, Then my mother was like, make your life clear. You can't be experimenting everywhere, Let there be a goal. What do you want to do? So I said, okay, let's fill up the forms for École du Louvre. I'll go back to India, finish my 3rd year of college, and then I'll come back to Louvre and study. So my mom was like, great. So I did not take the job offer that was given to me at that time. When I came back to India, I still had 1 more year to go at the faculty, and I started my 3rd year of college, and that is the time when Radio Mirchi had asked for auditions. And how many of you have a dirty room? Okay, so all those who have a dirty room, you guys are youngsters, the others. Okay, so the thing was that my room is always very messy, extremely messy. And during the college times, I literally had clothes all over the place, and I was supposed to wade through them to get to the other side of the room. So one day, my mom had it till here. She said, either you clean your room, it was a Sunday. So she said, either you clean your room, or there is this God-forsaken advertisement in the newspaper, which says that they want RJs for Radio Mirchi. You are never getting through, but at least go and, try it out, check it out. So I said, okay, I'll go there. I won't clean my room. I don't mind becoming a failure in life and not getting through to Radio Mirchi as an RJ, but I am not cleaning my damn room, So she said, okay, jao, jaake dekh kar aao, and I don't trust you to get through. So finally I went there. The interview was an experiment of sorts because it was unlike any other. Usually आप interview में जाते हैं तो formal कपड़े पहन के जाते हैं सबसे पहले. You might think about the answers that you want to give out to the person out there. I was wearing 2 unmatched pieces of cloth that were on top of the pile in my room. And I saw there girls who were hot, happening and amazing. And I thought, apna to ho gaya. I'm going to prove my mother right today if that is the last thing I do. So then I went to the interview and I said, okay, let me enjoy, let me have fun. I'm not getting through, let me at least enjoy myself. So when the person asked me, he was a very senior person at Radio Mirchi. He asked me, what is your plan in life? I said, I have no plans. If I had plans, I wouldn't be here, He said, can you guarantee me 3 years in the system? I said, I can't guarantee what I'm doing tomorrow. How do I guarantee you 3 years in the system? I'm a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. What do you want me to guarantee you in life, I can't guarantee my mother next day I'll come home bringing what she told me to bring, So then he's like, okay, I'll see about you. And he let me go. And I'm like, chalo, ho gaya apna kaam. I'm not going to be selected, so no tension in life. Let's just go home in peace. And it was the end of the Sunday because there were 500 other applicants, so I had to wait the entire day to get through to that interview. So it was the end of the day, no cleaning in the room. Second and third round were similar. It was an experiment of sorts that I had done it for myself, to enjoy myself, to see where I get to, In fact, the second round I remember very well, a prank was played on me, where they told me that you're not selected. Who called you here? You were one of the worst candidates interviewed, and I could believe them easily after the answers that I'd given out. So I had bunked my English class at university and gone to give the interview. I did not know how to drive a two-wheeler at that point in time, so I walked all the way from Arts Faculty to Alkapuri Express Hotel for the second round of the interview. And when they told me that you're not selected, then I gave it back to them, saying that at least you should have called me and told me that I'm not selected. I had to walk all the way here. You could have saved me the trouble. And I started walking back. And that's when somebody came back to call me saying that, madam, you've been selected for the interview. Please sit down and listen while while the superiors ask you some questions. So, aise masti mein, while experimenting with a new method of giving interviews, I found my way to where I am after 15 years of being a part of Radio Mirchi. I don't think that this would have happened. Thank you guys, thank you. I don't think this would have happened if I would have given a conventional interview, If I would have been nervous about it, or if I would have not decided to experiment about how to give an interview. Maybe I would have never been here because there were so many people who were better than me out there. But I was different. It is not about being better sometimes. It is about being different most of the times, is what I've realized in my 15 years of the career. And that's what got me through. That's the experiment that I think was one of the most successful experiments of my life. There are a lot of failed experiments also. Another successful experiment that I would like to talk to you about is Times of India public speaking. How many of you guys know about it? It used to be a huge public speaking competition during my times, and everybody would strive to get to the state level, win the state levels and everything. I had stage fear. I am sure you might not believe me right now, but I had massive amount of stage fear. Every time I would go on stage, I would hold a paper or a book to my face so that I couldn't see the audiences. Plus, without the heels, the podium covers me. So that does my job very well. And I was very happy that, okay, this Times of India public speaking competition hai, so I can bunk a few classes and go. Every student wants to bunk classes. Yeah? So yeah, that's the same thing I wanted to do. So I went there, gave a personal interview, did a group discussion. They selected me for the next round. At that point in time, there was one of the vice chancellors of the university who was in the judges. So in the final round, there were 11 or 12 contestants. Out of that, they were selecting 3 to go to the state levels. And we were given 2 minutes, one topic. I tried one time, I went on the podium covered me very well. I was very happy, but the judges were not. The mister that I'm talking about, very, very senior position, he was asleep. And I saw him sleeping through 3 minutes of my talk, and that was the worst day of my life. I said, oh my God, my own mother or sister doesn't sleep through my 1 hour of talk, and this man who doesn't even know what I'm talking about, he's sleeping. That means I'm doing something wrong. So 1 year, I did not get through, not even in the top 5, not even in the top 7. I think I was first from last. And that really hit me very hard. Then I realized that I would have to experiment with my style of talking. Every contestant was coming to the podium, saying their 2 bits and going away. 2 years, I tried to make a difference in my content, experiment with my topics, experiment with my style, and then I realized there is something drastic I have to do if in the 3rd and my last attempt, I want to get through to the state levels. And that is the time I thought about talking without a mic to reach out to the people. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So that's exactly what I did. I went ahead, I said I don't want to use the podium. It was the CC Mehta Auditorium, so it's huge. And it was a risk, it was an experiment which could have been extremely disastrous at my level because that was the last one that I could attempt. And I spoke, and luckily the judges took notice that the girl who speaks without the mic, she needs to go forward because that's what we want to represent Baroda. Let Baroda be about something new, something different. So that's how I got to the finals, and that's when Radio Mirchi picked me up also. That was my final test. They went, because we are a Times of India company, so Times of India public speaking when they realized that this girl has participated, they went there and asked my, कि कैसा review hai, how is she as a person, and how is she as a performer. Because I had performed without a mic, you see all the dots connecting? In life, it's all about that, I feel. When you experiment, when you go out there, when you put yourself out at risk, then sometimes it pays off. I will not say that every time it pays off. There are a lot of experiments which have failed in my life, and I'd rather not talk about them right now. But yeah, that's what experimentation is all about. 3 things I feel. One is having a goal. If you don't have a goal and you experiment without a goal, there's no point to what the result will come out, because in case of any result, it's not going to work out too well for you. Having a goal, it also means like, okay, I had a goal of not being selected at Radio Mirchi. That was my goal. And I experimented, so that worked out. So there has to be a goal to it. You need to take risks. Experimenting means taking a risk, but it has to be a responsible risk, an informed risk, where you just don't cross the road for the heck of it, for going first, where you look both sides and then you cross the road. That is called taking a risk, but a well-informed risk. And the third and the very important thing when you experiment is your gut. You have to listen to your instincts when you experiment. If you want to drop out of college, if you want to experiment with your life, you have to have a goal. You have to be very, very responsible while you take that risk. And you have to have a very strong gut feeling about why you're doing what. If you can manage that much, then I think most of our experiments go extremely well, is what I have found. And I'd like to end with a short story that has been on my mind for quite a few months now, just a few months, not years. In the age of social media, where all of us want millions of followers, we want to go viral, we want to have videos. How many of you guys make reels? None of you guys make reels? Instagram pe ho ya nahi ho? Okay, so a lot of you guys would know about reels, about going viral, about things like that. That is the time, so we as RJs, we have a KRA, a key result area, 25% of our performance is rated on how we perform on social media, okay? So, in the race of social media, at a lot of times, we lose the moments that we are into. And that is the time I came across this one beautiful story about a farmer and his dog. So there was a farmer who lived on the countryside, a beautiful farm, but the road going to his farm was the kacha road, not the pakka wala. And his dog would enjoy himself running on the road behind the cars that would come. He would, flop his ears, he would wag his tail, he would have a smile, a dog smile on his face, while running behind the cars with joy and glee. So somebody asked the farmer one day that, aren't you worried that one day this dog is either going to crash into a car or a car is going to crash into him? Something is going to go wrong. So the farmer said that, no, I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is, what happens when the dog catches up to a car? After that, what is he going to do? He has no goal in life. His only goal is enjoying that entire journey, So I feel that sometimes we become that dog. Sometimes we run after what the society tells us is amazing, or what we enjoy sometimes, or we run behind the stuff which according to the society is extremely successful. But I feel what we should be running after is what makes us happy, is what satisfies us, is what we do for ourselves. And trust me, when you do that, the money will come. The fame will come. The social media will come. A Kusha Kapila or whoever big ones on the social media are there, they just did content that they loved and enjoyed. And fame, money, everything did come to them. So while you experiment, never forget to enjoy yourself. Never forget what you dreamt as a child, because that is where the experimentation starts at. After we become logical, the experimentation is very limited to what the society wants us to experiment at. So yeah, that would be my last message to you as I end this talk, that enjoy yourself, experiment as much as you want. Don't put an age to experimentation. In fact, right now I'm thinking of experimenting with my life. It could be a huge mistake, but I'm willing to take it in the next 1 year. So yeah, there is no age to experimenting. Go there, live your life, have fun, do what you dream of, because at the end of the day, you have just one life. Live it to the fullest. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.